Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, and today I'm hanging out with Crystal Sully, the mistress of monsters. I think I'm the only one that calls her
Hello.
that, but I think it's fitting after seeing all the strange and wonderful and terrifying things you've created.
I'm totally cool with that.
So what are we here for today?
Well, today we will actually be launching the Kickstarter for my own book called The Untamed Bestiary live in 27 minutes now, counting down. Oh my gosh.
And there's a link to your website in the description below, guys. So in like 27 minutes or so, you'll be able to go over there. And then I imagine from there you can get to the Kickstarter. And when you go live, if you get me the link, I will actually update it as well while we're
Heck
doing the
yeah.
thing. So, Crystal, you first came to our attention. I think through Open Legend, we saw like all the cool art, and we actually got some of like the sneak peek stuff from Brian's like, "Hey, I'm killing you with this," and oh, that's really cool who drew that, and that's that's kind of how we found you. And and we've stayed in touch, and I love being in your Facebook feed because I see all kinds of cool things. But the one thing I wasn't expecting to see was quite so much ass. There's a lot of that going on the Facebook feed. Would you like to explain that for the people watching?
Oh my gosh. So it's miniature ass, technically. We are staying with family right now who have adopted 4 miniature donkeys. They're the cutest things in the world, and I post about them constantly. But oh man, they make my world go around.
I didn't realize they're miniatures. They look like, I guess they're all like close up shots, so they all look big.
Yeah. They're so little. It's adorable. They don't even come up past your hip. Their heads are huge though.
I love them. They are adorable. It's donkey snoots in the chat.
Donkey snoots. Yeah, so many ass jokes. I can't keep up.
Yeah. So there's plenty of donkey snoots going on over there. But that's not really why we're here today. We're going to talk about, this is your first Kickstarter. You've had monsters and tons of stuff now. I think the last time we had you on, we kind of just like got stuck on your website and we're like, hey, what's this and what's that? And it was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. And that's kind of my favorite thing in the world is when people ask me about my monsters and they're like, well, what's the story behind this one? And I usually have one all ready to go in my head. I was writing before I was drawing, so I love getting to incorporate that.
We have Brian Collin from Creature Curations. Hopefully I'm not messing that up. But he actually does all kinds of strange monsters as well. But he does sculpts, and they're all like mounts and wall mounts. And hopefully we did not lose. We did, and you're back.
Okay. My own Google account is kicking me out. It's like, no, you fool, it's me. I'm logging in, it's me.
So, well,
goodness,
happens, tech issues, we deal with it.
For sure.
I was just saying, I know they heard out there. I don't know if you heard. I was talking about Brian Collin. He does Creature Curations, and I would love to see a team up between you and him because he makes monsters. I don't know if you've seen his stuff or not. But
heck yeah, he's a Facebook buddy of mine.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I was like, when I saw the stuff he's done, instantly you jumped to mind. I was like, oh my god, that would be an amazing collaboration. Some of your stuff, brought to life 3-dimensionally.
Yeah. Oh, he's in the chat. Look at that. Hey, Brian.
Yes. Yes, he is. So how long have you been working on this project? How long has this been making? I know you've been threatening the Kickstarter for a while.
Oh, man. Before I even really considered the Kickstarter option, I've been kind of putting aside my own sketches and creature paintings for probably like 2 or 3 years or so. But about 2 years ago is when I started getting really serious about wanting to make it into a book. I thought that would be really fun.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So what can you tell us about the Untamed Bestiary? What can people expect?
So the Untamed Beastiary actually follows the story of a young artist who her grandparents passed away, but she discovers this ancient leather book and finds out that she actually comes from a long history of people who explore the world documenting hidden monsters from humanity. So she wants to follow in the footsteps of her family and fill out the book, and goes on this incredible journey. And this book sort of just documents all these encounters and just all this fun stuff.
Okay, so there's a storyline to it as well. It's not just, you know, here's the monster. So is it kind of like do you do like ecologies for the monsters, or you know, what's the format?
Oh yeah, each creature kind of has its own double page spread. We have sketches, anatomical diagrams, offspring, baby, horrifying but adorable monsters. Really excited about that. Yeah, field notes, just all sorts of fun things. And in each page, I wanted it to be totally different so that it's interactive with people.
When I was looking at the website and some of the images that you have that are going to be going into the book, I was kind of surprised to see how many of them were things that you've done before, you know, in other stuff. And I was kind of surprised you had the rights to use them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I do work for a lot of awesome clients. Pathfinder and Open Legend are the two that come to mind in the forefront, as well as Orbit Books, which I did this creepy big blue dragon behind me for. There's a book cover coming out soon. And it's been really great having nice clients that let me use the rights to include it in my book, to sell prints, because that's kind of how I make up my income like for the rest of the year.
Awesome. So, how many monsters are we going to see in Untamed Beastiary that we haven't seen before?
Oh, man. So far, I've got 10 new illustrations in the works, like big full paintings, and then probably 15 or so other sketches that are going to become full paintings. It's a long list, but oh, man, I'm so excited. And yes, person in the chat, there is a miniature donkey-inspired creature in there.
I didn't even see that comment.
Yeah, looks like Comic-Kin's asked. Will be, I assure you.
So what are some of the challenges you're working with doing this, other than, I know we were talking before we got started here about having to do everything yourself, but from the creative side, what kind of challenges have you faced?
Mostly just kind of being your own boss. And I know that it comes with the territory of being a freelance artist, but normally we have art directors. So we have someone else to bounce our ideas off of, who, you know, they know what kind of art looks good and what doesn't. So they can help us direct our art. But when you're just in charge of being your own art director and the artist, it's really hard to like detach yourself from certain ideas and be like, okay, this sketch isn't working. I got to like trash this and start over because this just is not, you know, feeling good. It's hard to put yourself in the art director's shoes too.
Oh, sure. It's like abandoning your babies.
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got like the non-art stuff. Thankfully, I was a graphic designer before I was painting. So, you know, it's nice having some of those design roots to come back to do like the logo design and stuff. But that's probably been more time consuming than even the artwork, I would say. And there are, as of now, about 50 creatures already done for the book, and the layout and the book stuff still took more time than all art did.
So 50 creatures done. You said you got some more to work on, so that's over 100 pages so far.
Oh yeah, so far we're trying to keep it to 100 pages exactly. So not all of them are going to be able to get double page spreads. That's something we're coming to terms with right now.
What are the dimensions on the book?
So the book is going to be 8.5 by 11. Our base funding goal is going to be for the soft cover, perfect bound. And once we, hopefully, cross our fingers, knock that out of the park, if we hit our stretch goal, we will have a hardcover imitation leather book cover with gold foil stamping on that skull logo. So we're really going to be pushing for that stretch goal so hard.
Do you guys have any other stretch goals in mind?
Oh man, there's so many fun ones. Not to tease everyone here in case these, don't make it, but in between the hardcover and the softcover, we actually are looking into ordering some really cool stickers that have the Untamed logo with the skull and, the word Untamed across it. I thought that would be really cool. And then we also thought about doing a stretch goal, if we hit the hardcover one, for afterward, of me actually narrating the book and sort of offering like an audio file. So if people wanted to listen as they go along, they have the author illustrator narrating the entire story.
Oh, that would be definitely a cool goal. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not something I've seen done before.
Yeah, like friends of ours did a Kickstarter for Laser Riders, and it was all like had this totally like retro look to it, 80s VHS. The boxes actually looked like VHS cases. And one of the goals was kind of like that, like where they did like soundtracks for all this, all kind of like retro.
That is so cool. And you know what is cool though? We saved up a little money before the Kickstarter to commission a good friend of mine who's actually in the chat. Hey, John Nymeister, also known as And Antonius, to do a custom song for the Kickstarter video, and it is badass. It goes with the theme perfectly, and he nailed it. So we do have a soundtrack song. Really, really excited to share that with everyone.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So TrueMate had asked a question, but I guess he came in a little bit late because you had actually answered it. 4 donkeys is 4 miniature donkeys.
Yep. Unfortunately, they are not my miniature donkeys, but it's kind of like an extended family. They belong to my family, so they're my family now, I guess.
Yeah, you're extended. Nice. Also, Comickins, it's Ian, Crystal. I don't know if that means anything to you.
Oh, hey, Ian, how's it going? So many awesome friends here.
Finir, you World Eater, you did not miss the roll call yet. It's still a little bit early. We wait till approximately the halfway mark. Maybe we'll do it a little bit. I'm not sure if I want to do it earlier or later, because at the halfway mark is when the Kickstarter is actually going to go live. And then you guys can go over there and back it live.
I can't believe it. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Man, we've been threatening this date for like, 8 or 9 months. We were originally going to launch in April, but April came around and I was actually still wrapping up a bunch of paintings for Open Legend for Brian. And I was like, I don't want to rush this. Like, I want to make sure he gets artwork that he's happy with, and I'm happy with the book. So I actually pushed it out to August, thank goodness. But can't believe it's here.
Well,
holy cow.
That's kind of nice too, because it's going to coincide with Gen Con, hey, we'll be able to hang out in person.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Gen Con. Like, oh man, we just ordered some super secret mystery treats for anyone who backs the Kickstarter in person. And I'm really, really excited about that.
Uh-oh, so you're saying I might want to wait?
Well, maybe all the backers will get them. Shifty eyes, super secrets, but they will be unveiled in person for people to see live. I'm really excited about that. Some gold foil, fancy stuff.
Nice. Sounds awesome. Ivan Hikinson has a question for you. He wants to know what's your favorite kind of dragon.
Oh my gosh, my favorite kind of dragon? That's like asking a parent who their favorite child is. But I would have to say Western. Definitely Western dragons. I love Eastern dragons, but there's something just kind of about the brute force of a powerful, muscular Western dragon that it's my favorite thing to draw. I mean, you could probably tell from my, my work. But yeah, big, like bulky Western dragons that just look like they can ruin your whole day. That's my favorite kind.
Well, I think Ivan's one of ours, so he's probably a D&D nerd, and he's probably thinking like D&D terms. So.
Oh, Dungeons and Red. Okay, well, Red Dragon definitely all the way would be my favorite D&D dragon.
although that blue dragon behind you is pretty sweet.
He's pretty mean. I mean, man, those poor people. This is actually our top seller at all the shows we do, because we get a lot of people who play D&D, and they're like, well, I'm the game master and I do this to my players. I need to buy this so I can remind them of what I put them through. Like, you guys are cruel, my kind of people.
AJ Kinney, I have 4 kids and I have no favorites. I don't believe you, man. I have 2 kids, and depending on the day, I do absolutely have a favorite, or definitely at least. Especially with a daughter that just turned 13 this week.
Oh man,
she's brutal.
That's so crazy. That's a fun time, right?
Jay Hennison, this is not for Pathfinder or 5e. It's actually an art book, and there's a congruent storyline that goes through the whole book about all the monsters. And you said a girl's discovery is basically it's a field guide. It says it right in the title. So, and that's going through and discovering the monsters. And you said you had the illustrations of them and anatomy and all that good stuff. I'm sure, though, you will find plenty of inspiration for your games in that book.
I was about to say, since we are nestled right smack in the middle of the tabletop industry from all the games I've worked on, I have so many friends who are, saying they want to back the book just so that they can get inspiration. Because there won't be stats, but there's going to be enough story there that I think will give some players some really fun ideas.
So, actually, Andres, they actually did a pretty cool thing with the art book that they just kicked, and they actually. So you get the physical art book, and then you get a PDF of the stats. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Hey, Andreas, how's it going? And Sarah's a good friend of mine too. Actually, I loved the work she did for that book. That was just killer.
Yeah, I'm excited to get that one. I'm excited to get my hands on this one. Although I feel like at this point, the fans probably like hate our guts because it's like. We show them all these like cool Kickstarters, and at a certain point, like I know everyone's just gonna go broke.
I know, right? I have so many friends who are like, curse you. I'm gonna back some of your highest tiers you have. Curse you.
How many tiers are there? Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh man, let's see. I've got the preview live. Oh, top secret. Right here. Oh man, so we have a couple of early bird tiers, of course, get everyone interested early, because the more momentum you get right off the bat, I think the better a campaign will do, especially because we're pushing for the stretch goal. But we have all sorts of tiers. We have just the book, we have the book and 1 print, the book and 2, 3 prints. We have an ancient dragon tier, just to hype that up a little bit. Really excited. We also have some original artwork tiers that involve some sketches, and I designed this frame that goes inside the front cover of the book. It's like this elaborate Victorian frame with my saber-toothed skull logo, and all the interior sketches will go right inside of that frame with pen and ink. So really, really excited about that. And it's going to be printed in metallic ink, this frame.
Keto. I don't know. I'm not so sure that Crystal has control over that one. But potatoes. So when is Christopher Poloni going to ask you to do the next Inheritance book cover? I think that'd be a better question for him, right?
Well, actually, Keto Couch Potatoes, that's ironically, it's my best friend and her husband. So they know a little secret that I was super excited to announce on air. But I can do that now, I guess, before we launch, if that's cool, because I'm so excited.
This hour is for you, Crystal. Do what you want with it.
Oh man, you're going to indulge me. Okay, so you guys, everyone who's listening, I'm like jumping around about this. We just got confirmation just last night that none other than Christopher Paolini, author of the Aragon book series, who I met at Denver Comic Con, will be writing the foreword for my book. My cat's attacking my banner.
I see that.
So he's endorsing the project. He's going to be writing a really special foreword, and I'm actually doing a panel with him at Dragon Con discussing all things dragons. And it was his idea. It was so cool. He came up to me at Dragon Con or Denver Comic Con a few times saying, "Hey, let's do a panel. I like your work a lot, and we could do a writing and art panel." So yeah, man, he's going to be writing the foreword. Holy cow.
So is it going to be on art, or is it just dragons in general?
The panel is just going to be art and writing dragons. We have, oh man, if you guys are dragon fans, like hold on to your seats, because we have not just Christopher Paolini. We have me, Christopher Paolini, Todd Lockwood, who is my personal favorite dragon artist, Cirello Cabral, who, as you guys know, he's like the guy who invented the modern Western dragon fantasy look that a lot of people are familiar with. It inspired me as a kid, along with Todd Lockwood. So we have these 4 people doing this insane master panel on dragons, and I'm just going to be sitting there like looking up at them. I feel like I'm about this big, just like these are my idols, like one of my favorite authors, Christopher. Grew up on the Aragon books. Like, oh man, I'm over the moon that he liked my work and my book enough, because I sent him all the sample pages early, that he said he would be thrilled to, be a part of it. It's like, is this real life?
That's awesome. So have you kind of like figured out your angle for that panel?
I think We're still working on it because it's such a general topic, right? Like dragons, you can go any which way with that. So we've been trying to figure out some cool specifics to discuss, maybe like dragons in modern media. Like I know Game of Thrones is going on right now, no spoilers, but you know, it's dragons, Game of Thrones goes hand in hand. And then you have, you know, books like Aragon, you have newer fantasy series. Todd Lockwood just wrote a new book, which you guys should check out, by the way, if you haven't. It's called The Summer Dragon. Oh my God, so good. I know we were just talking about, you know, your poor fan base, they're going to spend all this money, but it's a really good book. I promise.
What publisher is he writing for?
I'm not sure. It's one of the big major ones though, for sure. And it's got all these black and white interior drawings too, that go with a lot of the chapters. It's, oh man, it's one of the best dragon books I've read in a long time. And I grab everything dragon I can find.
I wasn't aware that Todd was actually writing. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, no, it's his first debut book, and the man can write. I mean, we all knew he could paint like better than, you know, anyone else I know, but he can write extraordinarily well too.
Yeah, you know, I know, you know, Todd Lockwood from 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons, so like, you know, that's like the system we spent the most time playing. So like, yeah, you know, we're used to really, you know, seeing those names, and that's when the art really kind of changed, and they really moved away from, you know, this mishmash of professional artists and kind of like fan artists, like from the earlier editions, and people that are like had to kind of like figure out how to draw these things, to where you got to like the more modern artists where they had a much more in-depth, I guess, grasp of anatomy and art, and almost took like a more of a scientific approach to it, and said, well, you know, how would this really work? And they would study animal analogy and I can't even talk, can't even think, anatomy, and try and translate that to monsters, which I'm pretty sure like that's what you do as well.
Definitely, yeah. And it's a lot of fun, actually, I think, studying real animals and kind of seeing how they work, how their musculature systems work, how their skeletal systems work, you know, everything, how it all works together, and then applying that to an animal that doesn't exist. And I think it makes for some really good, believable work because, you know, I started out rendering, like painting things to look realistic and detailed before I actually learned anatomy, which is usually a big no-no in the art industry. So, you know, I had to go back and start from the basics. And once I started applying anatomy, I think my work got a lot more traction with these bigger clients like Pathfinder and, you know, Open Legend, and even Elder Scrolls was the first game I ever worked on professionally. So it's just been, it's been really fun getting to explore, like, how would this thing really exist and function in our world with our physics applied.
So is now, I know you do a lot of like tabletop stuff now, but were you influenced by a lot of that stuff when you were learning to draw and you were drawing monsters, or did you use other source material?
So I know they're going to be very sad, but I actually did not grow up playing tabletop games. I knew a lot of friends who did, you know, best friends in the chat here. They are trying to get me involved, but we live 2,000 miles away. So it's a little tricky, but I have actually played Open Legend. That was the first tabletop role-playing game I really got to experiment with. He invited me in for an early game session when I first got hired on, and that was a lot of fun. And kind of showed me like, wait, you mean these stories that I write all the time, I can translate into my own characters, and all I need to do is figure out stats, and then, you know, you roll the dice, and like, you know, it's a fun system for sure. But I am very new to it. And we go to these shows and everyone's like, oh, you're this Pathfinder artist. Oh my God. Well, what's your favorite class? And this and that. And I'm like, I painted an alchemist getting eaten once.
Now, I actually knew that about you, but I also know that there's a lot of people that would pick up the books for the art and not like necessarily play the game. I guess that's where I was like, you know, and also like if you look at a lot of the fantasy novels and covers, well, a lot of there's, you know, so many of them that were put out from TSR and then Wizards of the Coast.
Oh yeah.
You know, so that's kind of what I was wondering, like if that aspect has influenced you, not necessarily the game itself.
Oh yeah, I've I actually have a few of the monster manuals. Volo's Guide. I saw someone mention that in the chat. I know so many people who worked on that, and I'm just like, someday And that's actually a pretty fun goal of mine. Maybe after the bestiary calms down a bit, and we get the books shipped out, if it gets funded, crossing my fingers, I'd love to send my portfolio to Wizards of the Coast. I think getting to do an official D&D dragon someday would just be like a real treat, because while I haven't played, I have so much D&D and Pathfinder material. It's ridiculous just to look at the art.
Nice. Are you familiar with Olga? I'm going to butcher your last name, Olga. I'm so sorry.
Yes. I love her. Her work is amazing. She's a Facebook friend of mine. And she's in the chat. Hi.
Yeah. She actually, we have a collab game going on right now. She did the character portraits.
What?
And she did this amazing job where she actually took each of us and basically built our characters around us, pictures of us, which was so cool. And
yeah, for sure.
And there's some challenges there too, because I'm playing a half ogre character, and Andrew Armstrong from Dodge for Cast is playing a lizard folk character, or the other two are humans. So that was pretty easy.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how much they look like the characters.
Oh man, no, that's a real treat. Her work is amazing.
So after seeing her artwork, I decided I should have been born a half ogre. I'd been much sexier that way. Which is so cool.
We have 2 minutes left. Holy cow. I just looked at the clock. I was like, oh my gosh.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Holy cow.
And Olga also brought up the point that when you're doing art, you don't have time to play games.
I know, that's been a really unfortunate thing that, a lot of folks ask me. They're like, oh, well, you work in the game industry. And I've actually had the pleasure to work on a few video game titles like Elder Scrolls. And people are like, oh, you must play that all the time, right? And I just kind of scuff my feet on the floor a little bit. No, I maybe get a round or two of Overwatch in every 3 weeks with my closest friends. And that's about it. Because, when I'm not working on video games, I've been working on this book for almost 2 years. So any free time I have pretty much gets poured right into it.
Yeah.
1 minute left.
I've been able to talk to, several artists since I've done that, and they all kind of say the same thing. It's like they all draw between 10 and 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Which is insane. That sounds way too much like work.
Oh man, my countdown timer on my website has 15 seconds on it. 14, 13. Oh my gosh, should we do a countdown? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Kickstarter is live.
Oh, that is awesome.
It's loading. My slow internet, it's loading. It's live though. Yeah. Oh my God, it's live. Holy cow. Okay, here's your project URL. Sure, let me go ahead and grab that. And, oh my gosh. I can't even believe it. I'm going to be like a little crying mess here in a few minutes, guys.
Well,
all right. Here, I'll put this in the chat.
It might not. It probably won't let you. Well, you can put it in the Google chat inside here. Yeah, that'll work. Because. All right. I now have the link, and it may let me put it in our chat.
Oh, yep.
But sometimes it won't let you do it, though, for certain. But I will put, here's the link.
Dang, yeah, I know, I tried.
I know.
Okay,
it is in the chat, and I'm actually going to update right now and put it in.
All right. I'll send a email out to my amazing email list.
So it is live, guys. Now you can go and.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
All right. Oh my God, is this real? We've been just thinking of this moment and picture all this crazy music and super epic soundtrack music happening, and now I'm just oh, what is even happening? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Look at all these people saying they're backing live.
Wow, that's really cool. We've actually never done anything like this on here, so that's
really,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my, 195, and it's been 10 seconds, you guys.
Nice.
Oh my good Lord.
For some reason, it does not want to let me put it in the description right now.
Oh, dang. Oh my gosh.
I have another way that I can attempt it. So did you send out an email? Is their email getting done right now?
I sure did. I hope so. my email list, they're all just like, oh, spam. It's the first email I've sent out, though. I promise you guys.
Sometimes you gotta train them though. You gotta send out regular emails so they know to
oh, for sure.
All right. I think that worked. I think we got it in. I had to go on alternate route.
Awesome.
Yeah, so guys, we can all check it out. And we can all back together like a shared.
Oh my gosh, this is like holding my breath.
That's really cool.
Oh my goodness. And the numbers oh my gosh, they increase live.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Oh, yeah. That early bird tier. That early bird one's going. That's awesome.
Nice.
I'm so I already told David this, but we got an hour of sleep last night ish, a little less than an hour, because we just kept going back and forth. I'm like, well, how many sketches can you do until March of next year? Trying to decide how many of what tier we want to go with. Oh man.
Actually about to complain about not getting much sleep, and then you're like, oh, I only slept an hour. I'm like, oh yeah, you got me beat. Because we had our Saber Dice game last night, and yeah, that was what I was talking about. I forget who asked, but someone had asked. That's the game I was talking about that Olga did the profile portraits for.
Oh, awesome.
But that was last night. It ended at midnight. Yesterday we did our Nerdarchy filming for the coming week, and I was on my way home, and I get a messenger message from Ted, my partner, and he's like, hey, by the way, we have no sound on any of those videos.
Oh my God.
It's not the first time it's happened, but things go wrong sometimes.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
I wasn't going to.
All right, seen internet.
Who's your favorite character in the game? Then we can decide whether I'm going to do spoilers or not. Campaigning heavily for my character.
Yeah, I see the chat. Please, no spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had to go back, shoot all the videos, rush back here to get that stuff done. And then after the game at midnight, it's like, oh, now I still have to edit and render a video and get it up and scheduled.
Yeah, so that's always rough.
And then, I had to get up at 6 this morning to take the boy to cross country.
Nice. That was about the time I got my hour of sleep. It was about 6 a.m.
Perfect.
Oh, it was madness. It was so crazy.
So do you have a lot of appearances planned? What's your strategy here?
Oh man, I did an interview actually for a really big art podcast called Pencil Kings. I'm really excited for that one coming out soon. And then let's see, Gen Con, which, oh my gosh, we leave for Gen Con in like 3 or 4 days. It's like a 2-day drive, from Colorado to Indianapolis. And then we go straight from there, stay with our awesome friends in Kentucky for about a week until Dragon Con. And then Dragon Con's going to hit hard. And then we've got that panel with, Christopher Paolini and this, oh my goodness. It's going to be insanity. I'm just so excited though, because I don't know, just it's going to be fun.
So do you have any help at Gen Con so that you can have a little bit of fun maybe, or is it going to be all business?
I do actually. I have how many? 3 booth helpers at Gen Con. I am going to be set, and I actually have the double size art booth as well. I'm on a corner, and I've got an extra big space. So there are going to be so many dragons, you guys. Like if you're going to Gen Con and you want some dragons, I can hook you up.
Forget dragons. You have one of the best booth beards.
I do. I have a fantastic booth beard, and he will be at Gen Con. So I'm super, super excited. He was up all night with me, actually. Come on over here, you booth beard.
Hey, what's going on? Nice to meet you.
In there. There you are.
Yeah, there I am.
Oh,
now I'm in frame.
You got to fit the whole beard. Come on. That's the rule.
I have to get back to work.
Yeah, he's over there working. He's like, you have to launch the Kickstarter. The damn working. I'm so sad. Oh my gosh, you guys were at 1,372 out of 7,535. Is this even? It's been like 2 minutes, 7 minutes.
That is really
holy
nice.
shit. Sorry. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. I was like, I'm not going to cry on air. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. I put on makeup today. I'm like, not crying, but damn it, you guys, you're going to make me cry.
To cry until after it kicks.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I got to admit, we definitely, I had some tears last night when I got this email too from Christopher. I was like, what? He wants to do this? Holy cow. He likes my stuff.
Very cool.
Oh, geez. Let's see.
Yeah. Are you going to have a booth at Dragon Con? Yeah, you usually do that, right?
I am. This is going to be my very first Dragon Con and Gen Con, actually. So, oh my gosh, I am beyond thrilled to get to do both back to back. I've got so many friends going and so many peers, awesome peers. I'm going to be next to the super famous artist. Her work is in, I want to say like Hot Topic and stuff like that. She does these really cool like doll-like portraits with huge eyes. And her name's Jasmine Beckett Griffith. And she usually has like one of the biggest booths there out of all the artists. And I'm her booth neighbor. So I am just like beyond thrilled because she's going to attract a huge audience. She's awesome. And we do totally different things. So it's like I couldn't ask for a better booth neighbor at Dragon Con.
Very cool. Very cool. Hey, Tony Two-Step, that's okay. If it's outside of your budget at this point, friends are into what you're in, they're probably going to dig on this.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, I've got a lot of friends who, you know, convention season coming up. They're like, hey, funds are tight. But I always say, you know, a share is free. And like, just, I appreciate so much every single person who likes and shares and comments. And just, you know, it's so good hearing that like, hey, I like what you're doing. You know, it's like, put so much time into this. It's just crazy. It's like, people actually like this? What? It's not just me. I'm not crazy.
Absolutely. Every little bit helps. So going into this book, is there anything in there like that people are familiar with your work that might be a surprise to them?
Yes, actually. Some of the cute monsters that we're doing. We oh man, the cute baby monsters. I can't even tell you. I see Brian's in the chat too. Brian doesn't even know, but I'm actually working on a baby Saberwing, which is one of the open legend RPG creatures. That was the first time I had someone directly message me saying, hey, I got eaten by the thing that you painted tonight. That was so much fun. But I'm working on a baby Saberwing. And for those who aren't familiar with the Saberwing, it's on the Kickstarter, I think, in one of the sample layout pages. It is a giant winged saber-toothed cat with, I think, English kestrel bird colors and spikes all over its body and blood red eyes. So picture this like adorable, but also kind of horrendous baby. It's going to be adorable, though, I promise.
Yeah, we almost got eaten by one of those.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. I hear that a lot. That's really like one of my favorite things because I feel like as an artist, if you can do one of two things, you'll be good to go. If you can make people laugh or if you can freak people out, then you're gold.
Nice. Yeah, we actually just recently acquired a new family member, and he's a polydactyl, which I wasn't actually familiar with the term. We've had it before. And I think like our whole family, all their hands are just ripped up because he just wants to play. And I don't think he's got enough room in his paws to retract his claws.
Oh.
So it's like, you know, if someone had mittens with fish hooks sticking out of them, trying to constantly bat at you.
That's so cute. We actually had a cat that was a polydactyl as well, and he had actual like extended thumbs, and he would climb things like a person. It was so cute.
Well, that's how it is. The front paws, he's got the 2 extra, so it looks like he's wearing mittens. And he literally, when he gets you, he doesn't just grab you with his claws. He grabs.
Yeah, it's like a little tiny human grabbing you.
Yeah, evil human.
Oh man. Oh, so many friends are in the chat. And let's see, Jeff Van Gogh said $30 for the pledge, another 30 for shipping, but fuck it, this looks too awesome not to pledge. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't know what I did to, get so many awesome friends and supportive fans in my life, but You guys are awesome.
Probably make awesome things. I'm going to go out on a limb and go with that.
It's one of those things, though, like, you know, in college, we had to do 4 years of figure painting under like oil paints, like classical training. And I wanted nothing to do with any of that. I wanted to draw dragons and monsters. And at the time, I kind of thought, you can't do that. No one's doing that. You have to draw the figure paintings. That's what people like, right? And then my senior semester, my awesome teacher named Hugh Alexander told me, he's like, you know what? Just paint teeth and claws. You love it. Your love will show through the work and you'll find your audience. And I thought he was crazy, but, you know, I did it anyways. And holy cow, I have found an audience of my people who like weird and creepy shit just like I do.
We are out there.
Yes. Oh man, 1800 already? Holy cow.
Oh, that is sick. Tony Toe Step wanted to know if we're going to be at Dragon Con. Crystal will be, but we will not. I actually had to draw the line somewhere because went to Origins, got Gen Con coming up, doing PAX Unplugged. I really wanted to do Dragon Con, but I think my wife might divorce me. So I had to sit one out.
For sure. I'm so sad. I was like, oh man, you guys got to go to Dragon Con. But we'll get to hang out at Gen Con. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely.
1900 now? Are you shitting me? That's cussing.
I wasn't even planning on going to PAX Unplugged, but then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It's literally like 20 minutes away. I guess I have to.
Oh, man.
and we had also squeezed in a trip to LA for the Geek and Sundry thing. So that stuff starts adding up after a while, too. Fortunately, the awesome fans helped us out a ton with the GoFundMe. We actually raised like $2,500. So that was a huge boon. You know, those guys are awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. The only PAX we went to PAX West a few times when we lived in Seattle because it was right there. And I always felt so special because like there's so many cool people out there who work at the big game studios like Bungie and 343 and stuff. And they were like, hey, we have an extra pass. Like, do you want to go? So I got to like sneak into PAX West 2 times.
Woohoo!
And it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I want you guys to start the roll call. In the meantime, AJ, thanks for pointing out the question from Kyle Ellis. Crystal, what artist inspired your style the most growing up? And while you answer that, you guys can start with the roll call.
Oh, geez. Which artist inspired me growing up? Oh, man. You know, honestly, and I didn't even know his name until recently, but Sorello Cabral is a big one. And if you guys don't know who he is, Google search Sorello Cabral and you'll be just bombarded with amazing dragons that you'll probably recognize because they've been on every folder, day planner, you know, calendars. Like he was, you know, the dragon artist that the internet knew for a long time. And between him and Todd Lockwood, like, I knew what I wanted to do. You know, I wanted to draw dragons and I never stopped, you know, even when people told me like, you shouldn't draw that. You should draw the knights and the sexy ladies and stuff. That's what people want to buy. You know, I just said, nope, no, thanks. I'd rather draw the dragons that the sexy ladies can ride on if that's okay.
Well, you know, it's important to, you know, where your passion lies and it's working for you. So why not? So we got people chiming in. Zarif Gaming from New Mexico. Ooh. We got Evil Silly Putty in Minnesota, Jeff Van Gogh in Luxembourg, Hunter Sammy, Kentucky. We've got Seattle in the house with, and it jumped on me, with Jenna, Lopez Island, Washington, AJ, Todd's in Dallas, upstate New York with Woodsman, Truemate is in Wales, UK, Comickins is in Colorado.
Hey!
We've got Raven and Oz. We've got Savannah, Georgia in the house with Tony Toestep. The Madman is in Houston. We've got Atlanta with John. Patrick with Sweden. New Brunswick with Ben. We've got Massachusetts in the house with Comrade. Westeros. I'm a little skeptical about that one.
Wait, where in Westeros, though? Like, this is really important, though. I need to know where in Westeros you're from.
Not saying. Go couch potato. He's probably going to die, so it doesn't really matter.
Old Valyria, then, probably.
Virgilio is in Utah. Well, Crystal, you're in Denver. Jinker GM is in Atlanta. We got Spain, Barcelona in the house with Rex Fion.
Moscow, Russia. Wow, Olga, that's so cool. Oh my god.
Yes, Olga's in Russia. We got another Denver with Jacob. We've got Oregon with Mr. Rob's cleaning service. I don't know why that one just always cracks me up. The graveyard in Westeros, says the bad man. We got people coming in from all over the place, which is super cool. You know, your Kickstarter is going off with a bang, which is really awesome. And it is
I can't believe
to do a Kickstarter live.
Yeah, I thought that was like such a fun idea, you know, when we talked about like, hey, let's do another video. I was thinking like, I don't know, I like watching Twitch streams and I like interacting with people and just kind of seeing the look on their face, you know, when fun stuff happens, like exciting events. And I don't know, I thought it would just be fun because I'm kind of like a child really internally. So I can't really control myself when I get this excited. And it's just like all these awesome things are happening. Oh my God.
Oh, that's funny.
Hacking classes?
Someone asked if all Russians were hackers, and Olga's like, "Oh yeah, we take hacking classes in kindergarten."
Oh my gosh, that's awesome! Did we just hit 2K? Oh my god!
Yeah, you're over 2K. You're like, you know, I think you're a third of the way there, pretty much.
Oh my gosh, that's insane! I have people betting me drinks that it'll fund within the hour. People betting me drinks that'll fund in a week. It's going to be a lot of drinking. I mean, like, holy cow!
Oh my god, your poor liver. How did you get cirrhosis?
I know, right?
I did one Kickstarter. That's all I did.
Oh, Erica's here. Hey, Erica, and John, and Brian, and Megan. So many friends are in the chat, and John Nymeister in the chat is the one who did like this entire badass Kickstarter video. I don't know if you guys are able to watch it and listen to music with, you know, our video going on now, but show him some love because he made some magic happen very, very last minute for me. He's amazing.
Let's see. I think we might be able to do some magic here, right? Can you see that?
I can hear it.
Oh, it's not showing.
Welcome to the Untamed Beastiary, a field guide to marvelous monsters. My name is Crystal Sully, a feature designer and illustrator in the gaming, publishing, and film industries. Dating back as early as 200 AD in ancient Greece, bestiary books have documented dragons and monsters for almost 2,000 years. The book documents exciting encounters with creatures, along with their ancient legends, traits, offspring, everything that makes them extraordinary in this world that we live in. The story follows this young artist that discovers this ancient leather book that's been locked away in her attic. Determined to finish the book and follow in the footsteps of her family, she embarks on a journey to witness these beasts in person. The book is going to have notes from the previous generations of explorers within her family that they've left behind, but it's also going to have her new notes as well. Every creature has anatomical diagrams, it has sketches, it has even offspring, some drawings of some adorable baby monsters are going to be in there as well. What inspired the Untamed Beastiary would mostly be real animals. I like to study real animals and learn what sort of adaptations have they evolved to survive in their environments. I started the Untamed Beastiary about 2 years ago. And it just started out as my own little place where I could create my own creatures. And I stuck with it and decided I would make it this giant book of monsters. Every single pledge helps put us one step closer to making this book a reality. So please join me as we embark on a great adventure to discover the marvelous monsters of the world in the Untamed Beastiary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they got any more than just the audio. You guys can go check it out. But that was pretty awesome. And I saw a donkey monster.
Did you see the miniature donkey Pegasus? Oh, my God.
I did see that. And I saw the real donkeys as well.
Yeah, so when I was sitting there, I was actually trying to draw that Pegasus. And John has all the outtakes because he put the video together. But let's see. My pen was taken out of my hands 2 times. The cap of my pen was almost eaten once. Let's see. One of the donkeys licked my iPad screen. 3 times, like just licking it like it's a sugar cube or something. We're just doing outtake after outtake, and like the whole time I'm trying not to laugh. I'm like, we have to get some good footage for John, and I'm trying to draw this miniature donkey monster, and oh man, no, that was
fun. You're being molested by 4 real donkey monsters.
Yeah, he got like the most tame part of the video where they're just slowly being sweet and lovable and not being like mischievous little shits.
That's hilarious. That's awesome. That kind of reminds me of so my kids like have a licking fetish, and they randomly just lick people, mostly us. But we were at the butcher that we go to, and they have the animals there. They have the live animals, but they also have some of them that are kind of like that they're not up for the butcher block. They're, I guess, pets at this point. And they're, me and my son pull up, and there's one standing next to the other one, and we were watching them, and just every once in a while, nonchalantly, just be like, "Oh," and then go back to doing whatever he was doing. He just licked the other one.
Oh my gosh!
And from that day forward, my kids will not stop licking us. They just walk up to you and lick you for no reason.
They just lick you like people.
Yes. Like, guys, it's really weird. Stop.
I think your children might be related to these donkeys, maybe just a little bit, because it's the same thing. It's like they lick you constantly, and they investigate any new thing. It's so cute. Like, you come out with a new pair of pants, and their mouths are going to be all over it. Like, they grab the pockets, they try to pull it off. Like, oh, you poor human, but you have this thing on you. Let me take care of that for you real quick.
You are so close to $3,000 right now.
Are you shitting me? Oh my god! Oh, what the hell?
Is the number that I'm seeing? Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
That
298.
Like $14 and 39 backers.
Oh my! You guys! Holy cow!
You better start figuring out those stretch goals.
I know, right? But I need to we haven't even come up with that stuff, because while we were really hoping for the stretch goal, I mean, we never people like our work more than we ever will. So, oh my god, did it just cross 3K? Well, holy shit, might have to bust out a beer tonight. This is so cool.
Yeah, that is very cool.
3,000. Oh my god, you guys.
I want the 5e monster stats in PDF format for a stretch goal.
Oh, that would be so cool. I'd have to get some help with that, because I don't know much about stats, and I would just be like, yeah, well, that blue one, he's over level 9,000.
Yeah. I heard you might be working with someone that's kind of done that before, so who knows what could happen.
Me? No, I don't know any nerds. I mean, I'm not a nerd myself, clearly, no nerdy stuff here.
So that would definitely be really cool. But you guys have time to figure it out. When are you guys looking to deliver?
Right now, we're looking at March of next year, just because we have so many original art and sketch tiers. We want to make sure we give ourselves enough time, just in case, printing hiccups always happen, because our printer they're US based, but they do offset printing overseas. So, once we send off our file, if the campaign gets funded, then, it's a bit of a process. But we gave ourselves, a little bit of extra padding in there, and we're hoping to hit before that date. But just to be safe, I've backed a lot of Kickstarters before where it's ages late, and they've promised it for, holidays and stuff. And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to do that. Let's just give ourselves extra room. And if we can deliver early, then kick ass. Awesome.
Or they don't show up.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I've got one I backed when we started Nerdarchy, and we're going into year 4 now. And Ted was just asking me the other day. He's like, "Hey, what's going on with that Kickstarter? I thought that was you backed that before Conan, and Conan took forever." I'm like, they still send me updates. I guess they're working on it."
Right? Oh man.
Well, I kind of look at a Kickstarter in 2 different ways. One, it's it's the new pre-order, and yeah. 2, it is crowdfunding. It is, it's kind of part of it is, it's almost like a donation sort of, which you get stuff from. So maybe luck, the stuff actually comes. So.
I know, right? And that's why, they have, I'm glad Kickstarter has this little section at the bottom here. It's what are your risks and challenges? And before you fill that out, they actually have like a questionnaire sort of thing for you to follow, like when you're doing that. And I was kind of looking at all their questions of like, hey, maybe explain, you know, your process or what you've done for this and that. And I'm like, man, we've been like hunting for printers for 2 years. I have basically interrogated probably 9 different friends who've had incredibly successful Kickstarters, and just like, you know, I've been a good little student. I feel like I've done, you know, as much homework and research as I can, and I have the best community standing behind me who have just, you know, made these kick-ass Kickstarters, and I'm so excited. I have so many art books. I think I've backed like 25 art books in the last like 4 months or 5 months or something. It's pretty, it's a, what do they call that? An addiction?
Yeah. Ted is really bad with that, especially if there's plastic involved. He's addicted to plastic. I think he just backed the Bones 4.
Yeah.
So I've been I try not to look too much because it's a great way to go broke.
I know it. Oh, it so is. It's so much fun though. Like one of the projects I backed recently, again, I know we're like, you know, sharing awesome things and everyone's going to want to go spend money on it. And I'm so sorry in advance, guys, but I actually planned almost my entire Kickstarter using a notebook that I got on Kickstarter from another, what do you call it? Not a backer, a creator. So it's called the Everlast Notebook. And this thing it's erasable, but it has this app that incorporates with your phone. So you write a page of notes, and it has like a bunch of little categories, and you circle which category it goes to, and you set it up in the app that it automatically sends it digitally to like Google Drive in a certain folder. So I've got all these Untamed Bestiary little subfolders, and, you know, I have this notebook where I'm just like, okay, cool. Here's a list of like printing materials that we need to get, you know, before we launch to see what we like, what kind of fake leather from the printer. So I'll write down this whole page, take a picture of it. It's stored. I can just erase it and just redraw it. And then I never waste paper. And I've had this freaking notebook for like, you know, 4 or 5 months now, and probably used like 400 or 500 pages. And it's like this little 30-page, like erasable notebook, but you use like, you know, pens. Just Kickstarter, man. It's so cool to see what people come up with, like these crazy projects that, I don't know, can be kind of life-changing.
I don't know. I mean, that sounds good, but it's not exactly potato salad.
Oh, God, the potato salad. Oh, never forget that.
Yeah.
Never forget.
It shows the madness of the internet.
That was so funny.
You're at 3251.
Oh my God.
Wow. So you're close. You're getting there. You're almost halfway. That's pretty cool.
Jeez. What? It's been like not even an hour. Oh my God. Like, whoa, we were planning this whole thing like, oh, well, we need to make sure we have stuff in the middle of the campaign because we might be pushing to, you know, get, you know, traction like, you know, days and weeks from now. And I didn't expect this. I just like, I don't have words. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you so much. It's like, wow.
You know what? Now you can start planning Untamed Beastiary too.
Oh yeah. Like, and I'm so excited too, because this is, I guess, not really a secret anymore because, you know, the book's going to be coming out soon, but maybe, just maybe it's revealed, maybe at the end of the book that this is just the first of many ancient bestiary books that she discovers. So there's like this whole other world of other creatures I can do. And I'm so excited.
So in this book, were there like monsters that like you've been wanting to draw, but you just haven't gotten the chance to put them any place? And like finally, like this is your book. You get final say on what goes in here, and you're able to take the reins. Yes. No, that's been really nice too. And while, you know, client work is really fun and it pushes me to new levels and stuff, it's always someone else's vision, usually, at least 50%. It's mostly someone else's vision. So it's really fun to just sit down and be like, man, what do I want to draw just out of my own like weird twisted mind right now, just to like put in this book. And sometimes I'll actually write a story first before I do the art, and that's a lot of fun too. Like, in your career so far, how much of it has been kind of drawing what people want or drawing what you want, would you say?
I'd say since I am lucky enough to be doing monsters instead of, you know, like the classical oil paintings and figure drawings I was doing in college for 4 years, I would say I am incredibly lucky and so grateful that I still get to make monsters, even if there's a day where I'm like, oh man, I have to draw a canine today. I'd rather be drawing a dragon. It's like, I get to draw a canine monster. Like, I cannot complain. I really can't. I've gotten really lucky this last probably 2 years since I started, you know, the bestiary, this whole idea for it. I've really been getting work that just is the kind of stuff I love to do. And I think that's such a privilege. Like, you know, I mean, I did probably 3 or 4 years of work that I just was not super proud of, you know, for clients. It wasn't what I was into. You know, I was trying to follow trends, and that was not, not a good idea.
So how many monsters did you have to cut? Or you're still going to figure that out, right? You're still going to have to figure that out probably.
So there are a few, actually for Pathfinder, ironically, I do have a bunch of them just got released for Bestiary 6, which I'm really excited about. I think I did like 7 or 8 for those, but some of them, oh, you guys, they're so damn creepy and dark. Like, you know, Christopher and I talked about making sure that the project definitely targets more, or is at least inclusive to the young adult audience. And some of the Pathfinder monsters I've had to do have been a total blast, but they're terrifying. One of them is literally a pile of guts with teeth, like bloody viscera, veiny guts. So I have to be very careful about how gory I want to go with some of these. You know, I have a were hyena that was done for like a Halloween event for Open Legend, actually last Halloween. And I actually went in and took out all the blood. It had like intestines and stuff hanging out of its mouth. And I went in and had to tone that down. So a couple of them did have to get cut a little bit, the super dark ones. But I am super excited to maybe gear my next one toward the horror genre, because that's the, you know, the genre I worked in before I got into fantasy.
Okay, that was going to be like the follow-up question is, you know, is that darker stuff more in the vein of what you really like doing, or was that like things that were requested?
Oh man, I mean, it's all fun, definitely. Even the piles of guts, like this is why I'm always like, man, I'm so going to be on the government watch list for my reference photos. I've had to look up bloated human corpses for paintings. I've had to look up burned skin, burned hair on real people, and fur. That was not fun, but it's always really interesting to paint really creepy stuff. Like, I don't know, it's like I mentioned earlier, if I can freak people out or I can make them laugh, if it's either terrifying or it's cute, I'm good. Like, that's my zone. That's where I'm happy.
One of my friends used to do like insect art, but from all salvage stuff. And it was like, it was kind of like, it was also pre 9/11, but she would use like razor blades and fish hooks and gun casings or bullets that, you know, don't have gunpowder in them, and crazy, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, I stopped doing it because, for one, it was incredibly dangerous. And she's like, I literally had to put everything in glass boxes because I would tell people, be careful, don't touch this, and they would just touch it anyway, and then people are bleeding. So,
oh my gosh, yeah, it's fun. I don't know, making like super gory, creepy things. Kind of, it takes me back to my childhood too, because I grew up on the Alien movies and, you know, monsters in like really cheesy B-grade sci-fi films. So it's a lot of fun. I'm like, it takes me back.
Woodman 105, Untamed Beastiary, the Saul edition.
Yes. Well, I thought that would be really fun because this first one, I want to make sure it's inclusive and it's kind of all encompassing. You know, there are some creepy ones, like one of the fan favorites at conventions, surprisingly, is this one called Gorgon, Lord of the Deep. And I think I have him on the Kickstarter page as one of the wallpaper options, because everyone who backs, by the way, gets 4 wallpapers and you guys get to vote on which 4 you want. So, like, you know, make sure you go to the comments and vote on that. But he's one of them. And he's this sightless, like bioluminescent, terrifying sea monster. So I just, oh man, I'm going to do like a full body sketch of him. It's going to be great. But he's like one of the top sellers at conventions. And I'm just so thrilled that other people also like dark stuff, because I've had friends and family in the past that have been like, is there something maybe not right in your head that you picture these horrors in your mind? And I'm like, no, I'm actually quite an upbeat person, but thanks.
I think I just blocked my first person ever. We're having all kinds of firsts here. Special moment for me.
Oh man, someone got blocked.
Yeah, someone was being a douche in the chat, and I don't even know how this moderator stuff works. I just saw block and I'm gone.
Oh jeez, crazy. Oh wow, that's a lot of messages in there. The chat is blowing up. Oh my gosh.
I saw them call for the ban hammer. I'm like, what are they talking about? Oh, there's a jerk in there. So it happens occasionally. So
it does.
So that was a little over an hour. That went by pretty fast.
Holy cow.
Before I jump off of here, I want to see where we're at.
Let's see. We are at $3,581. Oh my God.
Yeah, 51 backers. That is so close to the halfway mark.
Oh,
well, congratulations.
My God. Thank you so much to all of you guys. Like, thank you. Just the fact that, you guys are willing to spend your hard-earned money on my project, my personal passion thing that I just don't have the words. I'm just so grateful, you guys. Oh my God.
If you guys are going to be at Gen Con, stop by Crystal's booth. I know I will be. If you guys are going to be at Dragon Con, seek her out. Go check her out. Check out the awesome booth beard.
Yes, find the gigantic, wonderful beard, and you shall find me. Or the giant monster banners behind me, because that's usually a pretty good way to find it.
Yeah. Just look for the dragons.
Yes, follow the dragons. Kind of like, follow the spiders, Ron Weasley. Follow the dragons.
What is your husband's name?
His name's Trevor.
Trevor, that's what I thought. I wanted to say like Trevor or Travis. I remember when we had you on the first time that there was a comment. I'm like, is that your husband? Because that sounds like a husband comment.
Yeah, he's kind of my hype man too.
Nice. Hey, it's good. It helps. You need people in your corner. Hey,
man.
Where were you? We needed you. We had someone that needed to be blocked or timed out. There might have been steps to go to before the nuclear step, but I just went to nuking. It's kind of like how it is in my personal life too. My wife's like, blah blah blah, kids, something. I'm like, does someone need to be beat? Then why are you calling?
That's a good way to do it.
Well, there's only like two extremes. There's only two extremes. I've got like go and stop, and that's it. But anyway, it is that time. I want to thank you for coming on. I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us. Congratulations. I can't wait to see more from you and actually meet you in person at Gen Con. That's going to be
I know. It's going to be so much fun.
The list of people I got to hang out with at Gen Con is growing, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. So.
Oh man, I know. Same here. I'm like, I've got like clients and friends and other artists, and oh man, it's gonna be a giant party. And especially if this whole Kickstarter is going well, by the time we drive out for 2 days, I am just gonna be like, let's just go get drinks and have fun, like everyone.
Yeah, someone said Gen Con is going to be great. Absolutely. Actually, they say you're now $100 away from the 50% and being at 50%.
We're only like 40 minutes in. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's great.
Holy cow. Hi, Bruce. That's my friend Bruce. He's exhibiting at Gen Con as well. So you guys should go check his work out also. Oh, cool. This is so awesome. Crazy. I know so many people in this chat. Oh my gosh, you guys. And the people I don't know. It's so nice just getting, all this support and the kind words. And I never know what to say. Like most of the year, I kind of hide in my little studio cave, drawing monsters, getting an approval or not from clients. And, we don't get to interact with people seeing our work for the first time. So this is a real treat, you guys. So thank you so much for having me on.
I don't know. You keep doing these art books and stuff. It's going to start getting harder for clients to procure your services.
Oh, for sure. I mean, already being totally booked up until next March. I'm asking some of my favorite clients, like, I'm so sorry, I can't fit you in this time.
Oh yeah.
But it's a good problem to have.
It is absolutely. It means everyone gets to eat. This is a good thing.
Yes, definitely.
I'm going to cut it off now. But thanks for being on, Crystal. Thanks everyone for hanging out with us today, and thank you everyone who went over there and backed right on the stream. That was awesome.
Yes.
So it was a good time. So until next time, guys, stay nerdy.
Thank you so much, guys. See ya.